Hello, good evening, and welcome. Today we have had some rain here in England, and for the past few days we've had some rain, which we're all very happy about. It's been a really, really dry spring across most of England, I think, from what people have told me. Now, that's surprising because England is known for its rain. that's our selling point. We've got rain, but this spring we haven't even had rain. So what have we been good for? If we don't have rain, what do we have? I don't know. We've got stuff, but still, we've had a dry spring, so farmers have been struggling a little bit. It's been quite difficult. So it's May the 28th today. We've had some rain the last few days, but before that, I think it was probably February when we had last had good amount of rainfall. So that leaves March, April, most of May without much rainfall or any rainfall, which is very, very difficult if you are trying to grow plants or crops. Now, I'm not one of those people who measures the rainfall. You know those people? A lot of farmers do it, measure the rainfall. Overnight, it rains, you get up in the morning. The first thing you do, this is how you're meant to do it, before you make a cup of tea, before you get dressed even, you run outside, check the rain gauge, see how much rain you've had. First thing in the morning. Run outside, naked, whatever. You've got to check, because that's important. And you should probably let your friends know and post it on Facebook or something. We like keeping an eye on our rain. Now, anyway, so we've now had rain. So stress is somewhat relieved for a lot of farmers, myself included. It just means that your crops are going to grow the way they should be. Should's a strong word. The way we want them to this time of year. It's obviously, the month of May really should be the most productive month in terms of growth. I grow grass and that's it. So usually May you should be growing the most amount of grass, but it's just been after the dry March, April, it just stopped. I don't measure it really, but nothing really was growing in this month, which means the rest of your year, the other 7 months of the year, are just going to be way behind what they should be. And it's just a huge hit for your business if you're running a farm. You just can't plan ahead, and you can plan ahead if you want. You probably should plan ahead. However, in the worst eventuality, it's a massive hit in terms of revenue. If stuff really goes sideways, basically any farm could write off 1 year's revenue if the weather doesn't play ball, if it doesn't allow a crop to be grown. Literally 1 year's income for a farm could just be wiped out if it went properly sideways. I'm a little bit more resilient, I guess, because I grow grass. So growth is a bit more consistent, a bit more year round. I'm not reliant on one harvest. But for farmers that harvest a crop, if that goes out the window, yeah, you'd lose all your income. And you'd actually make a loss because you've still got all your fixed costs to pay. That doesn't change. So that's how important it is. Now, what did I want to speak about? The importance of effective rainfall. So we get a certain amount of rainfall. That's what's called total rainfall. And that's the amount of water that's fallen, the amount of rain that's fallen onto a set amount of land, a property, a farm. So that's total rainfall, and that's what we measure. That's what you run out first thing in the morning and find out how much total rainfall you had. But it's not even that important. The most important thing is effective rainfall, and that's what amount of rainfall the soil holds. So that's what actually makes its way into the ground and can provide moisture for the crop you're growing or the grass you're growing. So that's effective rainfall, suitably named. How can we affect effective rainfall? Affect effective rainfall. I think that makes sense. What can we do about it to increase the amount of rain that's effective on our property? Well, it's pretty simple principles actually. In practice, they're difficult to implement, but the principles are simple. The biggest things you want to eliminate is runoff. So picture rain falling on your patio outside your house or on the roof of your house. It just runs off because there's no way to absorb, unless you've got a hole in your roof, in which case sort that out. But on soil, on a farm, you get runoff as well if the surface of the soil is quite compacted, or if it's quite hard and dry, you can get runoff. So you want to reduce that. I'll explain that in a second. 2, you want to reduce evaporation as well. Evaporation is a massive one. So we all know, I won't explain what evaporation is, but how it works on soil is, if the surface of the soil is very warm, if its temperature is higher than it should be, the evaporation is going to be instant, right? When you warm a liquid up, it evaporates at a faster rate. So keeping the direct sunlight off that soil surface is really key. And also just keeping the temperature down, which again mostly comes from just keeping it covered. What do I mean covered? Well, it needs to be covered with anything really, but the way we're going to do it as farmers is by growing a plant and making sure that plant is covering the soil. So it's not just dirt. I was looking for dirt there to explain. It's not just dirt, it's actually covered with like a leaf, a stem, just some sort of decomposing biomass covering the soil. And that's going to help both of the things I mentioned actually. It's going to reduce the evaporation and it's going to reduce the runoff. It's going to slow that water down so the soil has a chance to infiltrate. The other things we can do on top of that to help the effective rainfall is improve rooting depth, improve the actual plant function, so the plant can produce higher quality roots and deeper rooting roots, and that's going to help. That's going to help to absorb more water into soil again. I'm trying to think what else. The big one actually I haven't mentioned is a long-term strategy. It's not something we can do in 1 year, but it takes a few years to implement, and you can keep going for a lifetime, obviously. It is to increase the amount of organic matter in the soil. What's organic matter? Well, it's carbon. Well, it's about 50% carbon, but it's basically carbon in the form of anything organic, so anything biological like plant matter or any bugs and critters in the soil. Does that count as organic matter? I don't actually know, but it's organic. But what you get is decomposing plants and manure from livestock, cow pats and whatnot. All are going to be slowly incorporated into organic matter, and the soil can slowly, with the help of living plants, increase the amount of organic matter. So most soils, it varies a lot, but you might be sitting at like 2% organic matter, 4%, anything up to like 10, 15, I think. I don't know, but a lot of soils could be sitting like 4%. I don't know. It depends where you are in the world. Some places, like a desert's going to be like 0.1% or something, 0.5%. But it makes a huge difference. I think I'm about to butcher the stat, but let's try. I think that a 1% increase in organic matter improves the water retaining ability of the soil by 20,000 gallons. I believe that's it. I think that's it. 1% increase in organic matter. How much is 20,000 gallons? That's a lot of water. But that must be per acre or hectare. Again, I don't even know the stat. But anyway, it's a massive amount of water that you can hold. It's, like I said, it's actually the biggest tool we have in our toolbox. So we can do these things to help capture a load of rainfall. And then long term, if we only had one rainfall a year, long term what we need is organic matter to actually hold it in the soil, because it's all very well covering the soil up, like I said, and having a living plant in there, but if we can't keep it in there for the rest of the year, the water this is, then it's not even useful. So that's effective rainfall. What else is there to say? It just made me think, because we've just had this lovely rainfall. I'm so grateful for it. I'm really grateful for the rain we've just had here in this country. But we get so much rain as a country. We get so much rain consistently every year. And we get the rainfalls consistently spread throughout the year, which obviously some people don't like, but we get rain in summer usually. We get rain autumn, spring, winter. Plenty in winter, but we get so much rain, and some countries and some regions get so little, or it's so inconsistent. And I think in this country, in the United Kingdom, it makes us a little bit lazy as stewards of the land, because we just get another rainfall. If you mess one up, you just get another one. Just wait 2-3 weeks, you'll get another one. So it takes the eye off the ball, because we don't have to be clever about the way we use water. That's my two cents on the matter. But I think we're going to have to start being a bit smarter about it. If we want to grow food and we want to protect our function of the environment and the ecosystems that we have around us, we've got to start getting smart about it. We're only having to learn this because we buggered it all up. You know what I mean? Nature didn't have to learn this. Nature was doing this for hundreds of years. We kind of buggered everything up in our push to mass produce food in the last 150 years. Less than that even. And now we're like, now we have to pay attention to the nature stuff to fix the stuff we just did. If it wasn't for that, you could just be like, whatever, we'll just let the rain come. Let the rain fall, baby. That is a song. Let the rain fall. Anyway, I'm not going to sing. So, that's it. Effective rainfall, the crucial number. Not just total rainfall. We're all very grateful. Why does this all rhyme? And see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.